Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Stitchin' Stacy from my YouTube channel, and this is the last few days before Christmas. So I found this really adorable pattern on redheart.com, which I love their website, by the way. What we're going to be doing are these Red Heart sachets. Okay, these are going to hold potpourri, cedar shavings, things like that. You can put things in them to make the scent seep through your gaps here. So you don't want your gaps to be really big, but you don't want them to be completely closed tight either. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm working in 5mm crochet hook with red Caron yarn for the base of the heart. Now you do have to do two of these. You're going to have a front and a back, and then we'll be stitching those together so that we can stuff those. And then I'm going to be using this I'm not sure, it really wasn't a name brand, it was just something small that I picked up at a store here, Big Lots. They have small dollar rolls of yarn. They're mostly mixed fiber yarns, things like that. And this is like a silver, you can see it's really pretty. It's like tubed yarn type things. It's sort of too like the sachet yarns, the boutique yarns in Red Heart. Okay, so I'm going to line in that. And then also for the hoop part of it, where you can hang it from a door, you've got white ribbon, I've got red ribbon, and I've got silver. So I am probably going to do my strap in silver ribbon. Okay, now these are good not only to hang, but you can put them on your Christmas tree. And they actually have some, this year I'm not sure what they call them, but they're little sticks that come in a little tube that smell like pine trees. You can get those and, you know, cut those smaller and stick those in here and put them on your Christmas tree. And you can, if you have an artificial tree like we do, you can give your tree sort of like the fresh scent, which I thought about doing. Now the other thing is you don't have to put a strap on them, or you can put a strap on them and you can lay them in your dresser drawers. Makes all of your clothes smell very nice. You can hang one in your closet, in your bathroom, on a doorknob. Millions and millions of ideas for these little things. So it calls for a 4mm hook, but I'm going to do mine a little bit bigger. I'm going to put mine on my tree, so I'm going to start off with a 5mm. If you want one even smaller, you can do, this is a 3.5 and this is another 5, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one in a 5mm just to get the size in my mind, and then based on that I'm going to do one in a 4mm to get a second one that is smaller, and then I think I'm going to do my large one in a 6mm, so I'm going to have 3 different sizes. And I'm going to try to do them a little bit differently, red, green, silver, white, that type of pattern. Now, an idea, we have a Tractor Supply here. These are wax blocks or cubes. This comes in Harvest Spice, and you can get these just about anywhere, but these caught my senses when I walked in the door a couple weeks ago. They smell just, if Christmas had an odor or had a smell or a scent, this is exactly what Christmas would smell like to me. So what I did is I used my little garlic grater. I have a couple, so I used it, and actually this looks like little cedar chips by now, but you can use these and you can put them inside here. Now if your holes are too big, like mine are going to be too big because I used the Caron, if you were to use tighter stitching, you could just pour these inside there, not a problem. But if you still want to use these, grab yourself a small piece of cheesecloth or something that has mesh, it's like mesh, and has, you know, some air that can go through the holes, which I don't have any, or I would have demonstrated it. But you can get a small piece of cheesecloth, or even like they have like those long doilies that you can put on tables, stuff like that. I have a couple that I don't use anymore. You can actually cut those, dump these sheddings into that sachet, because it's got all the holes in it so the smell will seep through, and tie it off, and then put it inside your heart. So there are numerous ways to do that. And then the other option that I've got today is this bulk potpourri, and this is pine frost. Now the only setback to that is you have these little pine balls. This is what I call them. They can be crumbled up, okay? I would not put them in their hole like this because they're going to kind of stick out. So if you're going to use those, that's fine. Break them down a little bit. And then there's also flat pieces in here, and they all will crumble or tear apart. But you know, they all have a scent to them, some more than others. But you can put a variety of these things in there. So I'll decide at that point, once we get there, which one I'm going to use, okay? And I'm sorry for so much yik-yakking here. There's a lot of information that's involved with this little thing. Okay, so this is the size if you use a 5.5 millimeter. Now, I went ahead and did one off camera so I could show you. I do not like to do demonstrations and videos if I don't have something of what I'm working with to show you as we begin, because that's kind of hard. I'm a sight person. I like to see what I'm doing first. Okay, so then we're going to do the second one together, and then that way I can go straight into filming how to piece them together, how to stuff them, and how to arrange them. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to start off with my 5 millimeter hook. Let's see if I can find my end here. This is one of my balls of yarn that once I tried to find the end to it, you know, from the beginning, it just wasn't meant to be found in this roll, so I had to kind of break my roll apart just to be able to get to the end of it. So just bear with me. So we're just gonna kind of weep through this ball of yarn here. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my yarn, make a slip knot, and then insert your hook. Okay, now what our pattern tells us to do to start with is to chain 3. Alrighty, whoops, already missed a stitch. There we go, chain 3. Now the row 1, which is the right side, they want us to do 2 half double crochet in the beginning chain, which is right here. Now a refresher, I always like to do a little bit of a refresher on our stitches as we start. Half double crochet, you're going to wrap your yarn, insert in that first stitch, make sure you got 2 hoops on that hook, grab your yarn and pull it through. You want to hold, you got 3 hoops on your hook. Okay, now what you want to do is wrap your yarn again, pull through all 3. Simple as that. Alright, we're going to do one more. So wrap, insert in that first hole. Candy is beeping my computer. She loves to sit on the keyboard, sorry. Pull through, wrap, and pull through. Okay, so from that point, row 2, you're going to chain 2, and you're going to turn your work. Okay, now what I want you to do is 2 half double crochets in the first stitch. Okay, so we're going to do 1 in the first stitch because this one's already there. Then our next stitch, you're going to do 2 as well. You hear Candy over there playing. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, guys. I did this one wrong. My bad. Sorry, pull back out to your chain 2. Okay. Now you're going to put, not that one. Okay, go over to this next space here, not the one you're in, but the next one, and put 2 half double crochets in there. And then that end stitch right here, Pay close attention. It is there. Okay, then you want to put 2 in there. Okay, so here's what we got so far. That should give you 4 stitches at the end of that row. Next, you're going to chain 2, turn your work. Now in the first stitch, you're going to do 2 half double crochets, which is right here. So we're going to do 2 here, and then 1 half double in the next 2. Oops. Alright, then in that last one you're going to do 2, not 1 but 2. Try not to get those end stitches real tight or you'll have a bigger problem trying to find that. Alright, so at this point we should have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? Now, count your stitches. If you need to run and get anything additional, like a needle, yarn, ribbon, anything like that, go right ahead and do that, and I'll be back with video 2 and we'll move up to our next row.